Despite Supreme Court's ex parte order, the old 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira have lost their legitimacies in the eyes of the public, such that even courts are rejecting them. Specifically, lawyers and litigants were yesterday prevented from filing court processes at the Lagos High Court as officials insisted that they would only accept new Naira notes. Consequently, many lawyers and litigants were turned back by court officials at the registry, saying the banks no longer accept the old 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes as legal tender. Judy, this is very, very... Okay, let's listen to this message.
We have not been able to file processes this morning because when my litigation manager came, he said he has not been able to pay for the processes, that they are not accepting old notes anymore. It has really incapacitated us and is really, really frustrating. The app couldn't work because when he called me, I rushed down here to use my app. I won't mention the name of the bank now. And I couldn't do transfer. At the same time, our old notes won't be accepted.
Banks have a good department. They have lawyers that could have interpreted the order to them. So I don't know. It's very wrong for them not to take it. It's wrong. It's highly condemnable.
I think we are in complete chaos situation because there is no kind of directive. You know, even the Attorney General of the Federation did say that the government was going to sort of comply with the ruling and the order of the Supreme Court. But I don't know whether the chain of directive has broken down somewhere that now the banks are not being advised to take the position the Attorney General of the Federation has said the government will take. Though many people are saying that the CBN or the commercial banks were not party to the suit. But when you look at the order, it's also in a way indirectly implies that they somehow have to consider that ruling.
It's a wrong signal to the public by the High Court of Lagos refusing to accept owners. It's a wrong signal. Because if a court is now refusing, then it shows to the entire world that the order of Supreme Court is final.
This is Journalist Hangout. Before we went on break, and we were talking about the Central Bank of Nigeria. So we took you to the Lagos High Court there, and it's something that is chaotic all over the town, all over Nigeria now. People are not sure of what to do with their old notes.
Well, ideally, because with the Supreme Court injunction, we should be spending our new notes, our old notes. It is shameful that the High Court here in Lagos, in Ikeja, would be refusing to collect old notes from litigants. They should be ashamed of themselves. Honestly, I don't know what we are turning into in our country, because you are a court of law. You know that the Supreme Court has the final say in legal matters. The Supreme Court has said, stay action, CBN, stay action. The actions of the High Court in Ikeja should not appear to disrespect or disregard the pronouncement of the Supreme Court. But that is what this one connotes. If people like Emekwele or the banks, the fat cats in the banks, are trying to pander to the whims of the CBN governor, it's understandable because he's done a lot to improve their lot. You will see that even in these difficult times, banks are posting hefty profits because a lot has been done to make things better for them. For example, the CBN governor took away the mandate of Bureau de Change operators to sell Forex after collecting it from the CBN.
Empower the bank.
And then he gave it to the banks, telling us that, once the bank starts selling it, it will go around, the distribution will be okay, and the value of the Naira will be stable. Immediately after he took that step, the Naira began to slide further. I've not seen anything, and I challenge the Nigerian to come and show me the policies that Emefiele, the governor of Central Bank, came up with that are really working, so that we can argue. Whether it is anchor borrowers they want to tell us about. I've been to states of the north. I can show that the anchor borrowers thing is a failed program. I do not know of any program that government came up with where the rate of payback of the loan is as terrible as that of the of anchor borrower, and that is already an evidence of failure. Now, when you even come up with a program that, oh, let's encourage people to grow rice, if you cannot drive down prices, then what is the essence of the anchor borrowers program? Because even after the anchor borrowers program, despite the billions that we have spent on anchor borrowers program, rice prices continue to go up. Food prices continue to go up. That is another evidence that he came up with that policy. Despite the injection of huge capital, that policy has failed. But that is not even the issue. For me, I expect that the Supreme Court will look at the matter before them, because another governor just joined them now. Another governor just filed a suit. We look at the sufferings that Nigerians are going through. Those old men have families. They too, they know that there is this serious cash crunch. You can't tell a man who has put so much money in the bank that he cannot take more than 2,000. You are giving people 2,000. It's crazy. You can't be giving people 2,000 naira across the counter. The CBN governor said give people 20,000. Even that 20,000 across the counter is wrong. But the 20,000 people can't even get it. So who do you blame for that? You said some people are hoarding. It's not our business. Our business is to see you fix the problem. If you can't fix the problem, you have failed. Don't come and tell us that people have ordered this thing. What are your people doing? Those who are supposed to inspect the banks. There's an inspectorate unit in the CBN.
Monitoring unit.
Monitoring unit. If you cannot do your job and people are able to hoard, then you have failed. Don't then tell us to continue to take the suffering. I mean, it's wrong. So today banks are refusing to take money from people. That's disrespectful to the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court has to look at the totality of this problem and take a decision that serves the interest of the generality of the Nigerian people, not the elites, not the rabble-rousers, not the greedy tongue twisters who are all over the place taking money and taking position. No, it should be the interest of the Nigerian people that the apex court of our land will consider.
We hear there will be a hearing tomorrow. We expect the Supreme Court to, clarify this matter, and so that we know what's going on. Now, even the old notes and the new notes, very few in circulation. The bottom line is that our people cannot spend money.
That's the painful matter.
If you want to, you say your bank is working, your banking platform is working. You want to do transfer now. Your service provider has just gone up.
Look at MTN. This is MTN now. Three of us on this table, we are using MTN. The network has since disappeared for almost 1 hour now. And everyone working here who uses MTN, they can't use their phone.
I'm sure this
some people, their phone is like their workstation. That's where they do everything.
And then if you are going to do transactions, you need network. Now, MTN has just gone off without warning. And then even before MTN going on, before people would think that we are taking on MTN.
No,
the bank transactions.
Let them show that it is not.
The bank transactions,
everybody here, we've confirmed.
The transactions have not been thorough. You even go into bank, at least I went into Zenith Bank. I want to do transfer. I mean, for 2 weeks, I was going almost every day. You could only transfer Zenith to Zenith. For 2 weeks, there was no possibility of transferring to another bank. How much more? That's inside the bank. Then you talk about app. You see, it is obvious that, like BKO said, Emefiele and his co-travelers came with a policy that was not thoroughly designed. Let me use the word. It was not thoroughly designed. From conception to implementation, they ought to know that these are the issues that will come up, these are the hiccups, and profile ready-made solutions. So that when we get to those stops, we will have to. But fortunately, you see, I came here today fuming that banks are refusing. That's the first thing I told you when I came. That can you imagine I was in the bank? Banks are refusing to take old notes. I was so angry. But by the time the program started and I heard that a court refused to accept old notes, knowing fully well that the Supreme Court made a pronouncement. So if the court will not respect its own pronouncement, am I the one to help them respect it? So it is unfortunate that the CBN governor, I want to single him out now, is driving us to a point of serious confusion as a country. I think people should sit down and examine what is happening now and opt to be on the side of the people. Because head or tail, all this will go away one day.
Yes.
What do you want people to say about you? Where are you? How comfortable will you be as an individual or as a group or as a corporate organization to be remembered as part of those who stood against the people? And that's why when I watch television, I see some of our people who call themselves comrades and they make some pronouncement on this issue. I have this feeling that
Hustlers.
people they are
Tough time,
somebody
man.
said they are comrades. Well, if you take money today to stand against the people,
you finish spending the money.
you will finish spending the money.
You
Somebody
see
said
we judge you harshly.
the deadline should not be extended because no matter what the people suffer today is in the interest of the future. A man who dies in this confusion because he's in the hospital and the family could not get cash to pay, will he enjoy that future you are talking about? BKO talked about narrow sight and the bigger picture. These people are choosing to look at the inducements, the narrow inducements they are getting today. They are not considering the effect. A lot of small-scale businesses are dying.
They are suffering as a result.
I know of a poultry. The man lost all his bets because he could not get money to buy feed. I know of other small businesses who needed daily cash transactions to keep alive.
No, it's only agricultural related.
They are in trouble.
Very busy.
And somebody is comfortable saying this is the policy we need. Okay, if this policy is good, the way we are going about it, can we say it is good?
If it is good, then it should. Any policy that inflicts pain on the people
Cannot be good.
Cannot be good, except the person saying that needs his head examined.
And then
any policy that inflicts pain, unbearable pain on the people, is not meant
good.
for the people. It's
And you
not
know the
meant for the
worst
people.
part of this
It's
is
either
not-
you drop it or
Or
you
you look at
you
it
tweak
and
it,
change the way you
tweak
are
it,
implementing
and see
it.
how you can.
You know what's
You can't-
painful about this? This suffering we are talking about is not sectional. It is general.
Everybody's
I know a rich man, a man who can conveniently be called a billionaire, who made a call across to a man whose wife is a trader to ask him if he could convince the wife to get him like 10,000 naira. He needed the cash. He couldn't get it.
There are some things you can't do without the cash.
People are lining up in banks to, at ATM to collect 1,000. If you have the ATM card of that particular bank, you collect 5,000. But if you are coming with the ATM of another bank, all you can get is 1,000 after lining up for 2 hours. We will remember Emefiele for a long time to come. People are calling his name in different manners already. So he has become a hero unto himself.